Why do bad things have to happen to good people? It is the age-old question that people ask when they feel they have been wronged by God. I'm here to tell you that there are multiple reasons that this happens, and they are all intertwined and related. First, we have our God-given agency. Second, every human is subject to the effects of nature, or what we consider genetics. Third, all people that live in any part or place in the world are affected by nurture or their social environment. Here's how all of those things give us a basis for why bad things happen to good people. We choose almost everything we do or don't do each day. That is because of the agency that God gave every single person on this earth. I've heard people say, why would God create this type of person? Or why would God create that type of person? The truth is that He doesn't create a certain kind of person. The simple fact of the matter is that just because someone has some bad habits or traits doesn't mean that God will take away their agency to act upon those certain traits or habits to save anyone else. In Alma 14, Alma and Amulek witnessed the destruction of many innocent women and children. Amulek pleaded with Alma to use the power of God to save them from the flame. This was Alma's response, quote, "The Spirit constraineth me that I must not stretch forth mine hand. For behold, the Lord receiveth them up unto himself in glory. And he doth suffer that they may do this thing, or that the people may do this thing unto them according to the hardness of their hearts. That the judgments which he shall exercise upon them in his wrath may be just. And the blood of the innocent shall stand as a witness against them, yea, and cry mightily against them at the last day. The people who do these injustices in this world will be held accountable, and the trials that they caused others will be the evidential factor that allows God to justly judge them in the end." I spoke of agency first because without agency, the next two topics would be irrelevant to my speech. There is a debate that has been had for decades, which is the nature versus nurture debate. Both of these have a profound effect on the actions of people. Our nature, or the genetic tendencies, is one explanation for the wrongdoings that are committed against others. Each of us has a temperament, which is defined as the inborn differences between one person and another in emotions, activity, and self-regulations. Every person is different. Some people are more prone to anger, depression, or even violent thoughts. Now, just because we have that temperament doesn't mean we have to act upon it, but because people have agency, they often do. The next is nurture, which is the environment that is around us from birth. Environment is a big factor in how people view others and the world, which can have a lasting effect on the actions of someone towards others. We often think of the relationship between agency and nurture because parents have the ability to choose however they would like to raise their child, and some, unfortunately, choose to abuse their children. This can have a lasting effect on all children, and actually, one-third of abused children will end up likely abusing their own children in adulthood. About 80% of them will end up in prison. That's just how agency works with nurture. When someone chooses to use their agency in wrongdoings and the nurture of the children is endangered, it affects the children lifelong, which can in turn create them to do wrongdoings against others that may or may not be family. To sum this up, every single person on this planet has agency God will not take, and because of that agency, we beget nurture. The genetic makeup of each person is different, and thus we have nature. There are some innate predispositions that can create bad situations for wonderful people. There is no need to ever ask why bad things happen to good people. It all goes back to God and the way He made the world with freedom.